I think you know me, no? So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, and for now I don't have any concrete master thesis ideas, but I want to rather show you thematic focus, what I'm interested to do. And so if you are interested to work in this area, so it would be my pleasure to work together, no? And of course, in some of the topics, for example, agriculture, economics, and rural development, Professor Sabine Schluter she's supervising in the same topic. And then if you are interested, we would talk with her as well, and we see how we can go on. What I especially like to do for this year is lots of migration stuff. So it's about food security and migration, water security and migration, and so on. Yeah, my regional focus is arid and semi-arid regions. So MENA region especially is very interesting for me. In addition, we have a project proposal going on with it's called Water D2D, Data to Decision. It's about Jordan, and here I have objectives. We are following 4 objectives. Project is not its acceptance is not finalized, but we are very hopeful. So we have already gone through the first phase, and most probably we are going to get it. And in next weeks it will be clear. And after that, we are going actually to offer another special session for MENA students if they would like to do it in this project. And objective 2 and 3 are especially interesting for me, and they're the area that I'm going to be involved in this project. It's about establishing the water security knowledge and innovation platform. So we are going to define then concrete topics in this area, as well as having a concept for systematic research-based innovation for water security, especially for MENA students, IWR MENA students. That's relevant. As they're going to be in Jordan for 3rd semester, they can continue with the master thesis. Then I have a list of master theses that I have been involved in their supervision. So as you see, it's again food security, water security area. I work with the MENA region mostly, especially if it's other than MENA region. I prefer to be second supervisor as it's not my focus. And now, for example, currently I'm supervising this urban agriculture as tool to increase food security and economic resilience of refugees and vulnerable host communities. It's about Syrian refugees in Lebanon. So to do quantitative interviews, survey with them, and then to actually assess a project which has already accomplished in that region.
What's the 3rd topic about? Because it says armed conflict resilience.
Yeah, that's already done. It's again an assessment of a project, the same, but it's looking at different aspects, but focusing on this infrastructure rehabilitation for the armed conflict. So it's looking at water and energy service provision and infrastructure level, and how is the interaction.
Which country?
It was comparing Jordan, Yemen, and one more country I need to think as well, but in MENA region, 3 case studies. So it was all secondary data analysis, project evaluation, looking at mostly GIZ projects going on and to look at them. Yeah, and one more thing, which is very important from my side always is, so 2 points that I'm always very emphasizing in them. And if you decided that we could work together, one is to have methodology finished before going to field work. It's, I think, very important. I don't like to send someone to field work before it's really clear what you want to do, which indicators for what you want to use. So that should be very clear. Otherwise, I think it's very important. Otherwise, the whole master thesis scientific framework is questioned somehow. And the other one is I really like pre-test questionnaires as well. To to run a pre-test for sure, and then to revise the questionnaire and then go for real data collection. So this is all from my side. I go back to the topics again. Yeah. If you have any other questions. Otherwise, I think I was fast enough, no? Yes.
For MENA regions, is it possible to use to be with you as Project 3 supervisor?
As Project 3 supervisor?
One of your topics, like not to be to go deep with your project as a master,
Mm-hmm.
to be a Project 3.
Yes, we are going to offer, we have not yet finalized the Project 3 topics, but for sure we are going to have again Project 3 topics on D2D project, so relevant to these topics.
You're the supervisor?
Yeah, I will be involved, yes, for sure, for one of them. So we are going to offer 2 topics. It depends to the group as well, how many people are going to do internship and how many will want to be in this team works for Project 3. But we are, our plan is to offer 2 project topics for this, yeah, for Project 3, based on D2D project.
You will also upload the slide or the file?
I can do it, sure, yes.
Yeah.
The objectives. Yeah, so the project is actually has 2 main objectives or aims. One is to establish an information and knowledge platform. So the idea is to have a concept where to do research systematically and involve stakeholders in all the research project phases. And the second objective of the project is to have research which is market-oriented. So these are 2 main objectives of the project. And for that, we choose a case study in northern part of Jordan, focuses on groundwater resources. And so it means that we have the case study, we get the data, and we try to, while doing this, and based on that master thesis projects and so on, we're trying to develop a systematic research concept, you know, how to include innovation in it as well, you know, how to be innovative in research, but systematically, to say.
On which tools are you going to apply?
For this?
Tools?
Okay, actually in October, we plan this project for October, and then we have one year definition phase where we are going to develop all this, you know, to develop our concepts, so methods, and for that main activities that we have in this year is to organize 2 workshops in Jordan, in Amman, to invite stakeholders and collect the ideas and discuss the topic, and at the same time to establish our case study in northern part, and write a full proposal for the next phase of the main phase of the project. So it's like a definition phase that starts in October, and that's where actually we're going to define all this. So it's not, and it will be somehow part of your master thesis if you are interested, or Project 3 as well, to develop this concept. Yeah. And with migration, what I find very interesting is maybe a bit more concrete idea that I have is I'm interested specifically in Iran, where there are really big water problems currently, and it has lots of social, economical consequences. And this migration within the country, for example, is one of the things that's unavoidable, but like planned migration, and looking at the structure, how people migrate, comparing data for water and peoples, how they are tracking them, how it works, that would be something very interesting to see how it goes. And then suggestions for a planned migration form. That I find interesting. And maybe another idea that it could be we can get support from Heinrich Böll Stiftung as well, is to look at, so we discussed it recently. I did my PhD with the Heinrich Böll Stiftung, and I looked at water security and food security in Iran and consequences on arid regions, farmers, conditions, economic and social. And it goes back to some years. So for us, it would be interesting to get back to them and see what has happened, because the water scarcity and water table has decreased meanwhile. And at that time, already some farms were deserted. And but we collected really detailed data over there, and it would be interesting to have a follow-up, something like that. I hope I'm still fast enough for you. Okay, thank you for staying here so long. No?